Chapter 1: A New Dawn, a Familiar Fragrance. After the seismic, science-fueled victory of Aros in the Great Far Accusation War, TGFAW, the halls of Northwood Middle School hummed with a different kind of energy. Bathroom humor had been supplanted by witty, fact-based comebacks.
That's what she said was now ironically met with. That's a textbook example of a non sequitur, often used to deflect from a lack of logical counter-argument.
Aros, once Professor Fart, was now simply Professor Aros, a revered, albeit occasionally bewildering, intellectual leader. He sat in the bustling science lab, amidst the controlled chaos of bubbling beakers and whirring centrifuges, surrounded by his trusted TGMM-Prepare alliance, Maya. The quiet observer whose piercing insights often cut to the core of any problem. She was meticulously calibrating a new air quality sensor. Alex, the pragmatic leader, always thinking about logistics and the quickest path to a solution. He was organizing a pile of discarded lab coats for emergency use. David, the tech whiz whose fingers flew across keyboards, able to hack into any system faster than a sneeze. He was optimizing the lab's Wi-Fi signal. Sarah, the empathetic voice, always reminding them of the human element, even amidst scientific crises. She was carefully labeling various chemical compounds. Emma, the confident communicator, unafraid to speak truth to power, especially after her own bullying experiences. She was polishing a microscope lens with vigor. Marcus, the loyal enforcer, ready to put Aros's plans into action, no matter how outlandish. He was attempting to reassemble a complex Bunsen burner. Suddenly, Mr. Henderson burst through the lab doors, looking like a man who'd just seen a ghost, or perhaps smelled one particularly potent one. His face was pale, his eyes wide, with a frantic terror that transcended mere administrative panic.
Aros, Maya, Alex, everyone, thank goodness you're all here. The gas sensors are going absolutely, utterly, irrevocably crazy.
Chapter 2: The Anomaly and the Awakening Stomachs. Aros, with the calm demeanor of a seasoned field commander, moved to the main control panel. David's fingers danced over the keyboard, pulling up the school's environmental diagnostics. The methane sensor reading was not merely climbing. It was soaring, a jagged red line spiking across the digital display. And it wasn't confined to the lab. It was registering across multiple zones of the school.
This can't be right. There's no logical, structural reason for a methane spike of this magnitude across the entire building.
It's not uniform, Aros. The highest concentrations are originating from the central cafeteria and spreading outwards.
Just as she spoke, a low, guttural, long-drawn-out groan reverberated through the very foundations of the school. It wasn't the creaking of old pipes or the rumble of the HVAC system. It sounded unsettlingly organic. It sounded like 1,000 stomachs simultaneously declaring war on their hosts.
What in the name of all that is non-gaseous was that?
It's Taco Tuesday, and judging by the sound, they tried the mystery meat chili special again.
Yep, third Tuesday of the month. The chili recipe from that old dusty cookbook. The one Mrs. Rodriguez found that promises bold flavors and surprising results.
The school bell shrilled, signaling the end of first period. Students began to pour into the halls, their faces a ghastly shade of green, their steps unusually sluggish.
Did you hear that sound? My stomach is doing the Macarena.
I think the entire 8th grade just collectively ate a bad burrito.
My locker smells like a forgotten gym sock mixed with regret.
And then Chapter 3, The Combustible Conundrum. Aros, pulling out his multispectral environmental scanner, a highly customized phone app David had coded, confirmed Maya's earlier observation. The methane levels were rising to truly dangerous proportions, saturating the enclosed spaces. too much methane, a single spark, and Northwood Middle School could become the world's largest, most tragic science experiment. He looked at Mr. Henderson, who was now just staring at the groaning, collectively queasy crowd of students with pure, unadulterated terror.
They're a walking, talking methane cloud.
No, they're a walking, talking potential explosive hazard.
We need to get them out, quickly.
But where? The whole school is starting to smell like a forgotten chemistry experiment.
On Chapter 4, The Alliance, Rally and the Evacuation Protocol.
First, evacuation. Get everyone to the gym. It's the largest, most open space with the most windows and doors.
Right. Maya, David, you're with me. We need to override the PA system and get a clear message out. Sarah, Emma, you help Mr. Henderson guide the students. Make sure there's no panic.
And we need to reassure them, not just order them. Explain why we're doing this.
Exactly. We need to prevent any impulsive actions.
He then pulled out his phone and sent a mass text to the student body, knowing it would cut through the noise.
Attention all students and staff. Critical atmospheric anomaly detected. Immediate evacuation to the main gymnasium is required. All windows and doors in gym to be opened. Absolutely no flames, no electrical disruptions. And most importantly, for the safety of all, minimize all intestinal gas expulsions. We repeat, do not fart.
The last instruction was met with a collective, uncomfortable groan that somehow managed to travel through the text. It was a tall order, but Aros knew it was necessary. As students, now very aware of their internal discomfort and the subtle yet growing aroma in the air, reluctantly but swiftly made their way to the gym. The TGFAW Alliance focused on the core problem: massive methane removal. Aros gathered his core team in the now empty science lab.
Okay, the gym is the staging ground. Now we tackle the source. We need to get the methane out.
In Chapter 5, The Supersonic Solution and the Carbon Conundrum.
Standard ventilation isn't fast enough. The concentration is too high. We'll still risk combustion.
What if we don't just vent it? What if we draw it out? Create a localized low-pressure zone using the entire school's ventilation system, but amplified.
Brilliant, Maya. We'll repurpose the industrial exhaust fans in the kitchen and the art room, reverse their flow where possible to create a powerful directed airflow.
Marcus, you and I will handle the kitchen exhaust. Those things are usually caked in grease, but we can clear them. David, you're with Aros on the main ventilation controls and power grid. Emma, Sarah, you're our mobile air quality monitors with the handheld sensors, reporting real-time data from critical zones.
They split into their respective teams, a well-oiled machine forged in the fires of past fart accusation wars. Marcus and Alex, battling against sticky, ancient grease in the kitchen, managed to reverse the massive exhaust fans, creating a powerful outward suction. Emma and Sarah navigated the increasingly pungent hallways, their handheld sensors beeping a constant warning, radioing data back to Aros and David.
Zone 3, library wing, methane at 2500 ppm.
Copy that. David, increase exhaust velocity in sector Delta 7.
Done!
Chapter 6, The Perilous Perimeter and the Burst of Blue. Back in the gym, the scene was tense. All doors and windows were flung open, but the sheer volume of distressed digestive systems was creating its own localized atmospheric problem. Students fidgeted, groaned, and subtly tried to shift their weight to relieve pressure. Suddenly, a brave, or perhaps tragically misguided student, unable to hold it any longer, let out a tiny yet audible squeak. A puff of pale blue light briefly flickered at the student's rear, a silent, surreal explosion that no one could have anticipated. A collective gasp rippled through the gym, quickly followed by another, louder, more brazen instance. Then another and another. The methane-saturated air had created a combustible atmosphere, and now, fueled by the students' unfortunate dietary choices, tiny bursts of blue light began to pop and fizzle across the gym floor like spectral fireflies.
What's happening? My butt just burped blue light.
Arose from his command center in the lab, looked at the real-time data streaming from Sarah and Emma's handheld sensors. The spikes were not only off the charts, they were correlated with localized heat signatures.
It's a chain reaction. The methane levels are so high that any expulsion of gas is causing a brief, localized combustion. We need to get them out of that gym now.
Chapter 7. The Blue Flame Fandango. The gym floor had become a bizarre, perilous dance of flickering blue lights. The students, now terrified and confused, began to move erratically, the initial discomfort replaced by pure, unadulterated fear. Mr. Henderson, having completely lost all composure, was simply standing in the center of the gym, muttering about insurance policies and the futility of life.
Forget the doors, Aros. They're all in one giant cluster. If one of those bursts ignites something, it's over.
We need a new plan. The evacuation is too slow.
Aros, we can't just move them. They're panicking. We need to give them a task, a focus, something to do with their hands and their minds.
This was it. The moment that would either save them or turn Northwood Middle into a legendarily pungent crater.
Listen to me. This is Professor Aros. The blue lights are a side effect of the chili, nothing to be afraid of. We're doing a new science experiment. We need everyone to find a partner and link hands. We're going to create a human chain and move slowly and calmly, row by row, out of the gym. Do not break the chain.
The students, hearing Aros's calm and authoritative voice, were momentarily stilled. They began to look around, nervously reaching for a partner's hand. As they did, the blue light seemed to diminish as the students' frantic movements and discomfort were replaced by a collective, focused effort. In Chapter 8, The Pungent Purge. While the students formed their human chains, the Alliance worked on the final, most critical phase of the plan. With the students now a moving, manageable unit, the original plan of a massive air purge was back on the table. In the lab, David's fingers flew across the keyboard, routing the power to the massive industrial fans Aros and Marcus had prepared. The fans roared to life, creating a powerful outward suction that pulled the saturated air from the gym and the school's central areas.
It's working. The concentration is dropping fast. Aros, the gym is almost clear.
The last of the students, guided by Alex and Mr. Henderson, finally walked into the fresh, crisp air of the schoolyard. A massive collective sigh of relief, unmarred by any strange side effects, filled the air. They were safe. The danger was over. Aros, standing in the middle of his now quiet science lab, smiled. The great methane menace had been defeated, not with fancy gadgets or a single heroic act, but with a combination of quick thinking, teamwork, and an absurd amount of repurposed ventilation. Northwood Middle School was saved, a silent, gas-free testament to the bravery of the TGF-AW Alliance. But Aros knew this was just the beginning. Somewhere in a forgotten corner of the school kitchen, he knew the cookbook with the mystery meat chili recipe still lay dormant, waiting to strike again. He had a feeling their next mission was already brewing.